This week, Lucasfilm Games returns to the Star Wars Jedi series. Second Sister enters the holotables. We give you the lowdown on Krrsantan and more. Are you ready for a bounty of Star Wars news? Well, you came to the right place. Let's get to it. Lucasfilm Games and Electronic Arts are working on not one, not two, but three new Star Wars video games with Respawn Entertainment, the minds behind Cal Kestis and his post-Order 66 quest in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Earlier this week, we learned that creators are already hard at work in the next game in the action-adventure Star Wars Jedi series, with plans for an all-new first-person shooter game from Respawn and a strategy-based game in development with the new studio Bit Reactor Games. No details yet on the titles or storylines, but for more on this exciting news, head to StarWars.com/thisweek. Watch out, Jedi! The Inquisitorius has entered the holotables of Galaxy of Heroes. Today, players can cross blades with the Second Sister, who we previously battled in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. As the first member of the Inquisitorius to be added to the mobile game, her determination and drive to defeat the Jedi make her more powerful. That's right, as her enemies and allies are defeated on the holotable, she only grows stronger. Check it out for yourself by downloading Galaxy of Heroes in the Apple and Google Play stores now. Not enough games news for you? Okay, one more. Star Wars The Old Republic Legacy of the Sith is dropping next month, but this week you can feast your eyes on this all-new teaser trailer. In the expansion's new story, you'll return to the ocean planet of Manan, explore the ruins of a Sith fortress on Elam, and more as you work to unravel Darth Malgus' mysterious plan. Check out the trailer for yourself right now at the address below. There's a new issue of Star Wars Insider out this week, and today you can get a peek inside with an excerpt from a new feature taking us behind the scenes of the ILM VFX art department. Read all about it on StarWars.com/thisweek now, then pick up a copy for a new interview with Midnight Man Daniel Jose Older, the final installment in a special story from the High Republic by Justina Ireland, a feature on Lady Bo-Katan Kryze, and more. Dr. Aphra's done it again! Last week, the nominations for the 33rd Annual GLAAD Media Awards were announced, and our girl Aphra was among them. The GLAAD Awards honor media for fair, accurate, and inclusive representations of the LGBTQ+ community, and if that seems familiar, that's because the team behind Marvel's Dr. Aphra, helmed by writer Alyssa Wong, brought home the gold at the GLAAD Awards in 2020, and this year makes it the third nomination overall. You hear it all the time, but we mean it. It's an honor to be nominated, and congratulations to everyone who helps make Aphra our favorite chaotic queer rogue archaeologist. Speaking of characters we love, last week brought us the 4th chapter of the Book of Boba Fett on Disney+. By now, you know that we don't want to ruin the surprises, so if you're blissfully unaware of what happens in this episode, skip on ahead to the timestamp below. In Chapter 4, The Gathering Storm, we gained a deeper understanding of the unique partnership between Fennec Shand and Boba Fett. Stepping back in time, we retraced Boba's steps from the first season of The Mandalorian when he found Fennec left for dead out on the Dune Sea. One very cool mod parlor montage later, and she was as good as new, maybe even better. Look at that souped up cyborg innards. With Fennec's help, Boba broke into Bib Fortuna's kitchen, roughed up the droid staff, and reclaimed his ship, which he promptly used to settle some scores. You know, that speeder gang had it coming. Ultimately, he was unsuccessful in scavenging his armor from the Sarlacc. Flash forward to current day Daimyo Fett, and we were reunited with Krrsantan. How many times do we have to remind people it's not wise to upset a Wookiee? And Boba held a fancy dinner party that was as awkward as a family holiday feast in our own galaxy. Trouble's a-brewin'. Watch what happened next in a brand new episode of the Book of Boba Fett that dropped yesterday, streaming exclusively on Disney+. I can't wait to dish about it with you next week. If you know me, you know I love Wookiees. To quote the late great Rio, you will never have a deeper sleep than curled up in a Wookiee's lap. Recently, we saw Krrsantan make his first on-screen appearance in the Book of Boba Fett, but there's even more to know and love about the character. So this week, we're giving you the lowdown with help from our friends at LG. Thanks to the OLED's infinite contrast, it's possible to admire every hair on a Wookiee's fine pelt. First appearing in Darth Vader 2015 #1, Krrsantan can also be found kicking bounty butt and taking names in the pages of Marvel's Star Wars and Dr. Aphra series. After escaping his homeworld of Kashyyyk, my sweet Santito was forced into a life of gladiator-style fights by the Zanti brothers before he became a mighty bounty hunter. As you might have guessed, Santi worked for the crime lord Jabba the Hutt, pulling jobs like finding out who stopped Jabba's water tax. Water is a real hot-button issue on Tatooine. Later, Krrsantan was brought on to help Sith Lord Darth Vader track down an agent for the Emperor and pulled a few heists with Dr. after Aphra and her crew. He was once even secretly recruited to hunt Aphra herself, but our soft-hearted Wookiee friend came to the rescue when Aphra was pulled into the darkness of space. When we catch up with Krrsantan in the Book of Boba Fett several years after the fall of the Empire, he is back on Tatooine working for Jabba's cousins, the Hutt twins. And boy, he gave Boba a pretty hard time, which Boba returned in kind by dropping Santi into the Rancor pit. Sorry, buddy. But all is seemingly forgiven now that Fett freed Krrsantan and invited him to join his crew. I've got a good feeling about this. That's it for this week, but for more on these stories and other news from around the galaxy, check out StarWars.com. And be sure to join us right here for This Week in Star Wars every Thursday. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.